We continue Unit 10, Graphing Square Root Functions, with Flap 4 in our foldable, covering quadratic and square roots as inverses. Use the quadratic parent function, y equals x squared, to fill in the table and graph. Use the table to graph the inverse on the same grid. First thing we need to do is get our ordered pairs for y equals x squared. So negative 3 squared is 9, negative 2 squared is 4, negative 1 squared is 1, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, and 3 squared is 9. Let's graph this on the graph. As you can see, this is a quadratic equation. Now we graph the inverse. So we just switch the x and y tables. And now we graph. As you can see, the inverse, the green graph, looks like a quadratic, but it is laying on its side. Write the equation of the inverse of y equals x squared. So the first thing we do is we switch the x and y and solve for y. We take the square root of both sides because to undo something that is squared, we need to take the square root. They're inverses of each other. And we get y is equal to the square root of x. Compare the equation to the graph of the inverse. Do they match? Explain. The graph of y equals the square root of x is not a function. They do not match. We only need the top 1/2 for our square root function. Let's look at some examples. Determine if the given functions are inverses. In example 1, first choose one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. I will choose the top one. F of s equals negative 5x minus 11. Then we rewrite the equation y equals negative 5x minus 11. Then we rewrite the equation y equals negative 5x minus 11. Switch x and y and solve for y. First, add 11 to both sides, resulting in x plus 11 equals negative 5y. Then we divide by negative 5. We end up with y equals x plus 11 divided by negative 5. These are equal. Therefore, they are inverses. Look at example 2. Choose one and rewrite. I will choose y equals x minus 2 squared. Switch x and y and solve for y. The first thing I need to do is take the square root of both sides because x squared and square root are inverses of each other. That results in the square root of x is equal to y minus 2. Now I add 2 to both sides, giving me y equals the square root of x plus 2. Since these two are equal, yes, they are inverses. Choose one of the equations and rewrite. Switch the x and y and solve for y. Square both sides. That leaves x squared equals y plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides, leaves y equals x squared minus 4. Notice these are not equal, therefore they are not inverses. This concludes Flap 4 of your foldable. Thank you.